Welcome to this week's episode of Talk of the Town. My name's Philip Swicegood, and I am back with my good friend and co-host, Dr. Kenneth Harper from Vein Specialist of the South. Now, this is important. If you have questions about your veins, give my friends at Vein Specialist of the South a call, and they will get you the answers that you deserve. We also want to thank this week's presenting sponsor, which is Piedmont Macon. Piedmont provides comprehensive quality healthcare for all of your medical needs. Thanks so much to Piedmont for investing in Central Georgia and making a show like this possible. So if you're just waking up on Saturday morning, say it's 6:30, you flip on 13 WMAZ and you say, what in the world is Talk of the Town and who is Dr. Harper and Philip Swicegood? Here's what you can expect week in and week out from me and Dr. Harper, a conversation between us and someone in the community who's making a difference and who has a story that you need to know about. This week is no exception because we are here with Bryan Nichols in Macon Rocks, a business that he started, one of many businesses that he started here in downtown Macon. And we are so excited to talk to him today about this. Bryan, so you've started Macon Rocks. You've started Taste and See Coffee Shop, but that's not really why you're famous. You're actually famous because of the Christmas Lights Extravaganza. We're going to talk about that in one moment. But first, I want to hear about Macon Rocks. Tell us first, what is Macon Rocks?
Macon Rocks is a great climbing gym, a place you can come and learn to climb. We have all different types of climbing here. We have lead climbing, we have top rope, we have bouldering. You can come and take classes. It's also a great place to bring the kids and have a birthday party. A great place to come and get a good workout or just have a fun date night with your family.
It sounds like a great date night. I need to remember this. You and Miss Terry, you guys need to come here on a date night.
You think we could do it?
I think you can.
Anybody do it?
Anybody can do it.
It looks easy, but is it easy? Like,
You
should I be
can
working?
come in, if you're a beginner, you can come in, strap in, and
Yeah.
a lot of the work is actually being done by the auto belay system and stuff, and kind of get a feel for climbing and what it's like. And like I said, there's instructors here who'll be happy to help you through the process. And then as you get a little bit more comfortable with climbing, you can learn to climb some of the hard stuff. There's different levels from the very beginner all the way up to the advanced. So it's something for everybody.
So yeah, I've brought my grandchildren down here. They love it. I haven't ventured out. Maybe I should give it a try.
I think you should, but I want to be here.
So my brother comes regularly, so it's got to be easy. I mean, if he can do it, anybody can do it. But
Yeah, he's a regular.
I'm looking behind us at these walls here. Just how tall are these walls?
They're 38 feet tall.
So guys, he said 38. They look about 138. If you look at these walls, they are massive.
Yeah.
And what type of climbing is that specifically?
That's the top rope and lead climbing. Lead climbing is where you're actually clipping in, going up, like you might see when you're watching a movie and they're clipping into the things as they go up. That's lead climbing. Top rope is more of where you're actually strapping into an auto belay and you're climbing up the wall and you can freely let go and come down.
Okay. So it lets you down easy.
Lets you down easy.
Is that what auto belay?
That's an auto belay.
Okay. So people talk about if these walls could talk. If these walls could talk, what would they tell you?
Oh man, the history of this building is pretty extensive. I mean, we got it. The Melba Lodge was upstairs. I mean, actually, where we're sitting, there was a second floor where the gym is. This was actually an old club here. The VFW and some other stuff was here. But man, we found some old video footage of in here when they had some of their private parties, and you had the cigarette girls with the little things walking around. It was really neat. Of course, no audio, so you couldn't hear anybody talking. But it was really neat to see the place in use in those days, and that's a big part of why it was important for us to say this is also the African American business district right here, and so many of these buildings have been knocked down over the years. So saving the history here was very important to us, as well as to Capricorn next door.
Roughly how old is this building and is this space?
It would have been in the early 1900s.
Wow. Wow.
Well, thanks for preserving it
Yeah, absolutely.
and offering this great venue. So we have a number of things in common, but one of them is a passion for downtown. And tell us a little bit about where that passion comes from in your life and a story that you would like to share about. about that passion?
Well, years ago, we had actually started a manufacturing company downtown. And of course, we moved it downtown because we needed a place to manufacture out of, and everything was cheap because nobody was down here. So, I mean, there were vacant buildings everywhere.
What were you making?
We were making wax scented pine cones and kids' toys.
Nice.
And we shipped them all over the world. And we did that for a long time. But we started where the Harriet Tubman Museum is in a 4,000 square foot building, which we outgrew. And then we ended up buying a building that I still own today that's 15,000 square feet. But the rent rate on the 15,000 square foot building was only $400 a month.
Okay.
Because there was vacant buildings everywhere.
Wow.
We went on to purchase that building later, and we still have it today, which is where I built some of my first lofts. But it being down here in the downtown, being such a beautiful place, even though there was nothing down here, I just fell in love with it. I mean, it was just a great place. I could see what it was just by looking at the buildings and the history that was here. And then I get to be part of watching it change and being a part of the change. And so for me, it's really a big love of mine to pour into Macon and
Now,
see it.
has your mom been involved in downtown a good bit also?
She has.
Tell us a little bit about your mom. She's a special lady, right?
She is. I mean, she's the one who actually called me and said, I have an idea to make wax scented pine cones, which I thought was a little bit crazy, but I came and helped her with that, and it took off. But she still helps me today, even with the Christmas lights. She comes out there, and she still believes in Macon just like I do.
Did she have shortwave radio, a program that she had out of downtown Macon?
Yeah, my father, my stepfather, actually started a shortwave radio station in that same building. Years and years and years ago, that reached halfway around the world, and they ran that for a while. And if you ever see that building on the corner of Fifth and Poplar with a big antenna on the top, that's actually what that was, and they did that for a long time until he passed away.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
Bryan, I've got a question about another business that you own, but first we have to take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsor.
I'm a respiratory therapist, 33-year-old mother of two, with one of my children having medical needs. I enjoy being outside with my family, and I enjoy riding horses as one of my personal pastimes. After having two children, my varicose veins were really painful, and I knew I needed help in order to keep up with my busy lifestyle. That's when I reached out to the only accredited vein center in Central Georgia, Vein Specialists of the South. Meeting with the VSS team, they listened to my concerns and developed a treatment plan perfect for me and my hectic schedule. During my procedure, I could tell the staff truly cared about me and what they do. The procedure was really quick. They put on my favorite music and made me feel completely comfortable the entire time. Recovery was easy, and I was glad I didn't wait. And most of all, it was covered by my insurance. Now, there's nothing stopping this mommy from living her best life. If you need vein care, I encourage you to call Vein Specialists of the South today.
At Raffield Tire Master, we're closing out the year with savings on Michelin tires. Now through December 8th, you'll get up to $60 via reward card or virtual prepaid card after online submission when you purchase a set of 4 new Michelin passenger or light truck tires. Nothing compares to driving with confidence. So for your next tire purchase, come visit us at one of our 6 Raffield Tire Master locations in Macon and Warner Robins. And log on to RaffieldTire.com for more savings.
Piedmont Macon is proud to be your partner in healthcare, in business and in the community. From our 2 convenient hospitals and ERs, our cardiac program, women's services, and urgent care centers, we provide Middle Georgians with comprehensive care close to home. Our goal is to empower you through great care that's simplified, unified, and easier than ever to access. Our mission is to make a positive difference in every life we touch. We want to be part of your family and your life, and to make our community a better place to live.
Welcome back to Talk of the Town. We are here with Bryan Nichols, who is a fixture in downtown Macon and owns several businesses. But Bryan, I want to ask you about, maybe it was your original business, and that is the Taste and See coffee shop that's here in downtown Macon. Talk to us about how long it's been open, and if someone hasn't been to Taste and See, what should that first drink that they get be?
Man, Taste and See, we actually opened up to help spur development on Poplar Street. my business partner, Kevin Reeves, he does photography, landscape photography, and wanted a place to showcase that as well. So as y'all know, before we opened, Joshua Cook Coffee was down here, and they were real good friends of ours, and that was a staple in downtown Macon for a long time. Great place for families to go, for students to go and study, and it was just a great environment. After we lost them downtown, we really felt it was important to put something back that would offer that same thing. But what better place to do it than in the middle of a street that needed some renovation? So once again, we stepped in, saved the building there, and started it there so that we could help create an environment for other businesses to come in around us, which they have now. The street is full of restaurants and stuff, which is great to see. But as far as coming in, I mean, you're going to feel like you've stepped into Colorado or Wyoming, or, you know, it has a real rustic feel. We hand built everything in there. Matter of fact, everything was custom sawed at a sawmill here locally. So it's a real neat environment. We have a fireplace. You can come in and sit down. We have the alley outside that we redid. You can come outside and sit in the alley and enjoy a beautiful day. And even by the fire pit outside. So as far as what drink to get, I mean, that's kind of a tricky question because there's so many of them. I mean, I'm more of the regular just white chocolate mocha guy if I'm going to get something sweet, but I'm a black coffee drinker. And we actually roast our own coffee now. We started that back in October, and so we roast right there in-house. I like the black coffee because I really like to taste the quality of the coffee, which is what makes it so special to me.
Talk to me about the beans, because if you're roasting your own coffee, that means you have beans from a very specific part of the world. Tell me about that process and where those beans come from.
We get them from quite a few different places. So, you know, it's not just one particular location that we get them from. We like having a selection because people have different varieties of that they like. And, you know, we change it up periodically. We have our house blends and stuff that we keep consistent, but we like to bring in some new stuff for the holidays or for different things so that you can get a different idea of what different taste and coffees are.
And let me ask you this, because you said something interesting. You said that whenever you guys started Taste and See, that there was no other business on that street. And a few years later, you look down at that same street and it is lined with businesses. How important is it if someone wants to really impact change in a community like this to like take a stand and say, hey, I'm going to go start a business over here that might not have a business right now, but I see potential not just for me to make money, but for the future of the community and for other people to make money by building other businesses in that stretch?
I think it's real important. I mean, you know, everybody has to take a little bit of a risk to do something. I mean, even when we were first talking about opening a rock climbing gym, this building was not our first choice to do that in. We couldn't find a place like we wanted to do. We knew we wanted to do it downtown. We wanted a family-friendly, fun place in downtown, not in North Macon, not somewhere else, but in downtown. So we knew it was going to be downtown, but then as we began to look at the building and saving the building, but we also wanted to help start spurring development up this direction. So by doing it here, we felt that would open the door for other people, not to take the risk of coming over here, but to come over here where we already have something. And that is coming up soon. I mean, they're fixing to start on some stuff right across the street. That's going to be amazing. Rosa Square Parks is getting renovated. It's going to really tie in downtown. You already have some development up the street that's been done by H&H. So this is now kind of an infill between downtown and what's happening there. So it's kind of neat to do that. But sometimes, you know, you do it and you wonder if you made the right decision. But then when you see the changes that come afterwards, you absolutely know that you did the right thing.
Now, if you live in downtown or you work downtown and you're looking for a small gym to work out, do you know of anyone nearby that people could be interested in?
We do have a workout facility on the 3rd floor that is, it's part of the package if you're a gym member, but if you're not, you can join just that gym. And once again, that was an idea we had after Kinetics closed in the bottom of the Dannenberg.
Is it open 24/7 card access?
24/7 card access. So if you work somewhere like the hospital, you get off, want to go work out. I mean, there are people who will come and work out at 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, some people will get here at 4 on their way somewhere. It has showers. I mean, so
if people are interested, they can just come by and check it out.
They can, yes.
Now, what about if you have a small group, maybe a Bible study or a business group? You know anywhere where you could have a room that you could
We also have that at Taste and See. We have a small little room that we let you use for free.
Right.
So you can come in and have a room that you can close the doors and have meetings and things of that nature. So it's been kind of nice to watch the business community, especially, you know, where they'll have a meeting and come in.
And
So
the coffee's pretty good there too, right?
coffee is pretty good there too.
So are we going to talk about the Christmas lights?
I think we've got to. I mean, that's
think
what
so.
we asked him, right?
Yeah.
Brian, I've got to ask you, hundreds of thousands of people are coming downtown every year to see a Christmas light program that you came up with out of thin air. Talk to us about that process of what in the world spurred you to say, hey, I want to start putting Christmas lights on 5.5 street blocks in downtown Macon, Georgia.
Well, it was kind of interesting because once again, it was something that we were trying to figure out how to bring people to see all the changes to downtown Macon, as well as maybe another way to bring in tourism. And you know, when you watch people with Christmas lights around Christmas, they are always driving to Callaway Gardens, or there's a house in Cochran that was doing it. And people would drive 2 times a year all the way to Cochran to see one house.
Wow.
And then as I look back at my childhood, I remember going and seeing Christmas lights, and I remember taking my kids. But it had gotten to the point to where fewer and fewer people were decorating their homes. So you could drive around and be looking and you couldn't find anything, you know, to really look at. So I decided to start doing a few things in downtown, and was very fortunate that the Downtown Challenge was happening at the time. So the Community Foundation, Knight Foundation, and Peyton Anderson Foundation funded the first year to kick off of what we did. I don't think anybody really realized that we were going to do it all synced to music, and they thought we were just going to light it up. So it added an extra pop, especially partnering with the Macon Pops and them doing all of the music. This year, they're actually adding a couple more songs. And as you know, last year we started having 2 separate shows. So even though it's 4 shows a night, it's the first 2 shows are different, and then the third and fourth show is a repeat of the first and second. So that's kind of nice because you can come to one show and come to another show and hear totally different music.
All right. When's the kickoff this year?
We always kick off on Black Friday.
Okay.
So when your family's in town, you know, used to it would be, I used to think, well, they're going to be so tired of getting up at 4 a.m. and all that. Who does that anymore?
Hey, and it's,
That's what Amazon says.
it's free live music too, right?
It is free.
The
On
Macon
opening
Pops.
night, man, it's
Right.
it is magical. We do it live.
Yeah.
Which when we first started that, never been done in the world. It actually all 5.5 city blocks, 1 million Christmas lights synced live
Yes.
to a 40-piece orchestra with a Grammy Award-winning conductor
Yeah.
and Matt Cattengoo.
And some singing too,
And
right?
some singing, and I mean it is phenomenal. If you haven't been, I mean the lights are amazing, the concert's amazing, the atmosphere is amazing. People from all over the place are in the middle of the street enjoying each other. It's unlike anything you've
And it's
ever seen.
family friendly,
Very and free
right?
and open to everybody.
And somehow it keeps getting bigger each year. Every year I go, I'm like, I swear this is bigger than last year when I was here, right?
It has grown every year. I mean, we've grown it by way of numbers of blocks. We've grown it by way of numbers of lights. I mean, I'm hanging lights even now, and I can tell you the trees have grown. There's a lot more lights out there than years before.
And by the number of people that come,
Yes, it's astounding. You know, Visit Macon, who handles all of our tourism, they track all the numbers. They keep up with everybody that comes and that kind of stuff. So the numbers last year were 850,000 people, you know, that came. Opening night, they said, was 28,000 people in the streets. And so it's pretty phenomenal.
What do you think the economic impact of that is in the community? It's got to be significant, right?
They tracked that, and they said it was $6.8 million last year. So it's a pretty big, you know, difference as far as economic impact goes.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, it's good for all the restaurants. It's good for everybody downtown. It's good for Macon as a whole. It's won international awards. It's won the top tourism award for the state of Georgia. I mean, it really has. Every time I turn around, somebody's sending me an article from somewhere that I didn't even know about. And so it's been fun to watch how it's grown and it's taken a life of its own.
The number of articles about Macon, Georgia, since you started doing that have just gone through the roof. And they are national and they are everywhere. And every single year, there seems to be a new group of people that are recognizing how incredible downtown Macon is.
Man, we have so much to offer here. And if people say that Macon doesn't have anything to do, they have not got out, because we have so many things for you to come and do. I mean, you could spend a show just talking about all the things you can do in a week. I mean, if you really dove into it, but there's never a dull moment in downtown Macon for sure.
Good. Well, we're very thankful for your part in that, and how your passion is spread to a lot of different people, and the joy that we see in the eyes of the kids and the families that are downtown for the Christmas lights, or maybe getting that nice coffee that you have, or working out here, makes a difference. And thank you so much.
I love it. Wouldn't trade it for anything.
Right. Bryan, as a serial entrepreneur and a successful one at that, uh, tell us about, people ask you probably, how do you do everything you do? What's your work-life balance, and what's your core that keeps you centered as a person and as a business owner?
Have a great family. I can tell you that because they put up with all my endeavors. But my wife is very supportive of everything that I do. It's been fun to watch the kids even learn, all the things that we do and how we do it, and hopefully be skills that they can carry forward with them, seeing the hard work, like I did with my mom when I was growing up. Watching her work hard, which is what instilled it in me. But as far as that goes, I mean, with the businesses I own, being a business owner yourself, I mean, it's all about staff. And when you have a great staff like we have here at Macon Rocks with John, our manager, and at Taste and See with Kevin's, family being there and running that, and with our manager Rachel and with all she does, I mean, it's all about the staff you have and the people that you have around you that make you successful when you go out into all these endeavors. I mean, it's just like with the Christmas lights. You might see me out there hanging them, but there's so many people behind the scenes that are a big part of what goes on, from sponsorships to volunteers to even other people in the community who have given of their businesses and their times, and the county and the parks and beautification. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. So a lot of what I do is not just me. I just happen to be the guy that you see the face of so many times, but there's so many people behind the scenes that drive everything that we do to make it successful.
Right. One of the things that's been so encouraging for me over the past 20 years that we've been downtown is the growth that I've seen, but also our governmental leadership, from our mayor to our council members. Everybody's working in the same direction, and that is a huge thing for Macon. And I want to shout out to thank them for their part in that. If you look at opportunities you see downtown at things that you would kind of want to do, but you don't have the bandwidth for, but you think there might be some, you have any ideas you would share with our viewers that they might get down here?
Well, I always say, if you're going to open a business or do something that's a venture like that, find a need, fill a niche. That's what'll make it successful. You don't always want to just open another thing like what's already there, which a lot of people do, and that's the reason why you see things open and close. There are so many needs of things that we need here in downtown and in Macon Bibb that you can just fill the niche by opening up the things that we need.
Do you have one or two you're willing to share?
I've always said we need a UPS store or a Kinko's or something downtown, but that's always been a personal preference because I get tired of driving across town to do something that I need like that. But there's lots of cool ideas that are out there that I think would be beneficial to downtown for sure.
Well, the Ace Hardware downtown is pretty nice, right?
I'm loving that. I don't have to drive. I don't have to drive all the way to Lowe's or somewhere. So
great. Think outside the box. Pray about it. See what ideas come up. If you want advice, call Bryan. Ask him. He'll give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
I will give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Right. So, and that's what you need sometimes too, isn't it?
That's right. Somebody just to guide you in the right direction.
Bryan, thank you so much for your time here today, and stay tuned for a special announcement from me and Dr. Harper.
I'm a 37-year-old mother of two and enjoy spending time with my family. As an athletic trainer for a manufacturing plant, I'm on my feet all day. I developed bulging varicose veins after my pregnancies. That only got worse. Then spider veins. After a family beach vacation and lacking confidence, it was time to do something about my legs. As a medical professional, I knew Vein Specialists of the South is the best in Central Georgia. From my first phone call to completion of procedures, every staff member was professional and ultra caring. I was blown away by how much information I learned and the severity of my legs. I loved the staff and even looked forward to returning each visit. The procedure had minimal downtime, and I even walked a mile after my last procedure. Months later, I was back at the beach again with two pretty legs and newly gained confidence. If you're ready to get your life back, call Vein Specialists of the South today.
Welcome back. It's hard to believe that Dr. Harper and I started Talk of the Town almost 5 years ago. What started as a small social media show has now been picked up by 13 WMAZ and is now the largest local program in our area. Dr. Harper and I actually do talk of the town because we're passionate about our community. We've both chosen to live here, to raise a family here, to worship here, to invest in our community because we think the Central Georgia area is the best place to live and to play. And we're so blessed to be here. Today, we've got really exciting news because Dr. Harper had the idea of coming up with a community contribution award that would be awarded to someone in the community who is making a difference on an annual basis. We are so excited this year because Bryan Nichols is going to be receiving that award for everything that he has done for the Central Georgia community. Bryan, congratulations on the first ever Community Contribution Award.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. You really did catch me off guard.
So this is your award, the
Oh,
first
wow.
annual Talk of the Town, Bryan Nichols,
That is
community
amazing.
contributor. So thank you for what you do. We love you, the community loves you, and this is our honor to do this.
Wow. I mean, it really is. If this was supposed to be a surprise, it worked because I had no idea. I don't know how you
Right.
pulled it off, but it means a lot to me knowing that it came from so many others who invested just like I have in downtown and in Macon, that you guys would choose me for this. It means a lot.
Thank you.
We've had so many people in the community who are so excited about this award and so appreciate all the work that Bryan has done. One of them has very generously agreed to come and say a few words about Bryan. I'm going to turn it over to Mayor Lester Miller.
Well, thank you everyone for being here. But first of all, I want to thank Bryan Nichols. He does a lot for our community. And on behalf of Macon-Bibb County, the 160,000 people that I represent, we want to thank you for all that you do in our community. We want to tell you to keep up the good work, and we're looking forward to bigger and better things at another time.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
Dr. Harper and I are so excited to be able to give this award to Bryan because of all of the work that he's done here. And stay on the lookout for the future because next year, Dr. Harper and I are going to be right back here awarding a similar award to someone else in the community who has made a difference. As always, thanks for watching Talk of the Town only on 13 WMAZ, and stay tuned because you never know where me and Dr. Harper might show up next.
I'm a certified health coach who loves helping others. My personal health journey started a little over a year ago. I began by walking, then I started playing pickleball. After losing over 100 pounds, my legs were still bothering me because of pain and bulging veins. I needed help, and all my friends recommended Vein Specialists of the South. I learned at my appointment that vein disease only gets worse without treatment and didn't realize how bad my vein problems were. But the VSS team was there to help and customized a treatment plan that fits my active lifestyle. Every staff member I met during my procedure was informative and caring. They even played my favorite music. My legs looked and felt better right after my procedure. Just a few weeks after my procedure, I was back on the courts doing what I love. If you want better looking and feeling legs, it's time to call the best, Vein Specialist of the South.